Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining in at this video today. Today is all about boosting your metabolism. I hear people all the time tell me about how they have a slow metabolism and it's all about genetics. And let me tell you, I'll be the first one to tell you it's not about your genetics. You can completely control the speed of your metabolism by doing certain steps. So that's why I want to have this call today. And again, thank you for joining me. And clearly you are here for either you want to lose some weight or you want to build some lean muscle or you want to figure out some tips to build that metabolism. So really, what is metabolism? So really, just to break down the metabolism, it is the sum of all of the chemical reactions that happen in the body. So of course, we're going to go into the ton of the different chemical reactions, but I'm sure everybody probably knows about the metabolism. Really is just the speed that you actually burn calories. And that's really all it is the rate that you actually burn calories. There's actually a few things that actually really go into how fast your metabolism is. The first one is actually accounts for 60% of your actual metabolism is actually your resting metabolic rate. So your resting metabolic rate is really just how many calories your body is burning when you wake up in the morning and you're seriously just resting in bed. You're not doing any activity, you're not doing any crunches, you're not doing anything, but it's seriously just how fast your body will burn those calories. And I'm sure a lot of you have probably seen a lot of those different, fancy scales nowadays will give you your resting metabolic rate, based on the number of calories. And if it's like, oops, and there goes my tree. There goes my tree. So I'm gonna move my tree out of the way. I can see it on my screen going sideways if anybody saw that. So you can see the number of calories, and that's just what your body needs to maintain your weight. Not saying you're gonna lose weight, not saying you're gonna gain weight, one or the other. That's just your set calories, just to sustain your body and your activities. Number two, when it comes to metabolism, is actually the thermic effect of food, which of course is all about digestion. And that accounts for 10% of your metabolism. So it doesn't really seem like that much, but of course, just depending on how you're eating your food, and if you're eating frequency, smaller portions more frequently through the day, it's going to account for more calorie burn over the course of the day, vice of course eating one meal or just two meals. Then we also have activity, of course. This is going to be your exercise. So whether you're going out, going for a 2-mile run or actually doing some strength training, that is going to be the activity that is burned, which of course is going to speed up the metabolism, not only for that time period, but of course at times it's gonna be for the period of the day. And of course, we're going to really get into one big, huge thing, of course, about exercise. That is just one amazing way, but we're going to go into that a little bit later. There's a few things that I actually just wanted to touch on base first, just about your metabolism, especially there's so many things that I hear people always tell me all the time is, oh, I didn't get enough sleep. I'm tired. I'm not really getting enough sleep. And let me tell you, I found that sleep is one of the #1 ways to either decrease your metabolism or just increase your metabolism. So it is, research shows that actually chronic partial sleep loss could increase the risk of obesity and diabetes and alter your appetite control. So how many of you have, only had a few hours of sleep and the next day you're like, oh my gosh, I'm just so hungry. I just can't get enough. All you want to do is eat and eat and eat. And let me tell you, that is because of that lack of sleep. It's, you hear all the time, oh, you need to get your 8 hours of sleep. And that's the #1 reason why, is because you have this cortisol levels that are in your body. It's a stress hormone that are regulated specifically through sleep. So you sleep more, cortisol levels are more maintained and they're more controlled. And of course, that's going to affect not only your appetite and your mood, and of course, just how hungry and your energy levels throughout the day. So of course, less sleep, you're going to eat more, you're going to have more energy. Or I'm sorry, less energy. You're going to have less energy. So the less you sleep, the more you eat, and the less energized you feel. And it's not just, a theory. It is proven facts that show that you need to have at least 7.5 to 8 hours of sleep. I know that seems like a lot, but seriously, at least even just try to go for 1 hour more than you normally do. If you're only sleeping 5 hours a night, just try for at least 1 hour and just see how you feel. And you might be so amazed. Your appetite may completely change. Your energy levels might be through the roof. You might be completely amazed. So I'm telling you, just strive for more sleep. If you really want to burn those calories at a faster rate, definitely get some more sleep. Okay, so number 2, and I'm sure we probably all have heard about this, is stress. Stress has a huge effect on your metabolism. And the reason why they say is because chronic stress actually leads to overeating. You know, when you're stressed out and things are going wrong and you're thinking about so many things, people tend to overeat. You eat to try to mask that stress that you have going on in your life. So number 1 solution for stress, of course, exercise. So that's when we're going to go into exercise. So of course, stress, in order to alleviate it, you know, if you had a bad day at work or things aren't going well at home or whatever the reason, I'm telling you, go get whatever workout or even a 30-minute workout if you don't have enough time, and you will significantly reduce the amount of stress. Therefore, of course, you know, bringing those crazy cortisol stress levels down and helping you to feel happier. Okay, so going into exercise, of course, something near and dear to my heart. Absolutely love exercise. So exercise, really, it is one of the number 1 ways to increase your metabolism. I'm sure we probably all know this, not only just through cardio, but also through strength training. And strength training is actually one of the best ways to, strength training or resistance training is actually one of the best ways to build your lean muscle mass. Okay, so this lean muscle mass you have, so any of your muscles that you have, no matter where it is, you're going to, that muscle, of course, is going to boost your metabolism. So your resting metabolic rate, which I talked about previously, is going to increase with the amount of muscle that you have. And of course, they even say that having this lean muscle, the more you have, the better you are at controlling your weight, the less you are at actually gaining weight and becoming obese and having diabetes. So it is just, it's the best way. So really, just when it comes to exercise, one of my favorite ways, and of course, if you actually just do some research and you find one of the best ways is actually high intensity interval training. So if you're doing high intensity interval training, which really just spikes your heart rate up, and then it goes down slightly, and then just go up and down. So it's almost just like a seesaw, up and down with that heart rate. And that's actually one of the most effective ways to actually build some lean muscle. And there's also, if you've never heard of Tabata, T-A-B-A-T-A, which is a type of a style, which is actually just, you know, it's generally 8 rounds, 20 seconds on, 20 seconds off. That's just one of the similar styles. You can actually get a phone app that will allow you to modify the different amount of time. So if you just remember Tabata style, or just circuit training. You know, I call my style of training circuit training. And really, if you just want to mix in something like, you know, a run, maybe like a 400-meter run or a quarter-mile run, something like that. Or hey, maybe you don't even want to leave your house. Why don't you just jog in place or do some high knees for 1 minute? That's all. And then just do some basic moves. The basic moves I always recommend if you're just getting into strength training: push-ups, squats, lunges, and plank. Seriously, you really only need to do this for strength training exercises to really target pretty much your entire body. Of course, I would, if I were to go more into depth, I would, you know, explain, you know, shoulder push-ups and getting into pull-ups. You can really work your lats. But really, you just need those four basic exercises, and then also add some really good cardio into it as well. Of course, like I said, whether you jog a quarter mile or you know, do a minute of high knees in your house, standing in place. So that's just an awesome way to spark the metabolism, get your heart rate up as high as you can, and then drastically lowers, and then up and down again. So really, that's just again, one of the best methods to get your metabolism going is exercise, and of course, resistance training. Okay, so now we're going to go into diet. And I'm sure everybody probably, this is the hardest part. I would say this is definitely the hardest part. I mean, generally it's easiest for people to go work out for an hour a day. But the diet, that's going to be the hardest part that people have to maintain, because, you know, that's the other 23 hours of the day is really controlling what's on your plate. Okay, so there's a few things to make sure that you do in order to keep your metabolism going fast. And I'm sure you probably have all heard about, you know, eating frequently, you know, every 3 to 4 hours, which of course is a huge plus. But they also recommend to not eat too little calories. I'm sure you've all heard about the whole starvation mode. And really, starvation mode, they recommend not to eat less than 1,200 calories. So if you're one of those people that likes to track your calories, which I highly recommend, go and find, you know, a MyFitnessPal app or something similar to that. And a lot of times they have this calories set really, really low. So if you see your calories, it's like, oh, MyFitnessPal says 1,200 calories. To be quite honest, that might be just slightly too low, because they actually say that you can actually, you know, of course you're getting into that starvation mode, but it will work to slow down your metabolism. Granted, there are different reviews. Some people say that you won't hit starvation mode until you're in about under 800. So just remember, really, you don't want to eat too little, because who wants to slow down their metabolism? So hey, 1,200, seriously, I'm sure everybody can eat 1,200 calories a day, especially if you space it out properly. Okay, so into diet mindset. One of my favorite tips that I always have, and of course, just doing research today really just made me see that this is the reason I always stress this importance, is drink coffee. Caffeine actually is a stimulant for the central nervous system, and it revs the metabolism naturally. So if you're a coffee drinker in the morning, awesome. The one thing that I have to say about that, just make sure to watch your calories and your cream and your sugar and everything you put in there. I always recommend keeping it 70 calories or less. But drinking coffee or just some sort of caffeine, if you like the Vi4Life Ghost, it's equivalent to a cup of coffee. Shoot one of those in the morning. Have something that has caffeine. There's quite a few byproducts that has a caffeine in it, whether Neuro, the smart water, again, one of my favorites. I'll do that midday. Shake that in water, drink that, and also the Pro, which is a pre-workout, that does have caffeine in it as well. So once again, it makes you feel happier, it makes you more awake, but caffeine also does rev up your metabolism. So don't forget about that. Don't think that it's just in your head that, oh, I think I feel better. No, let me tell you, there's all these processes going on in your body, and the coffee is really working to your benefit. And not only that, I'm sure most of you may know, but it also improves digestion as well. So if you drink a cup of coffee, it actually will help, you know, things go through a whole lot better. And of course, that's another thing that actually helps the metabolism too. So the more you go, then the better your metabolism is, because you have that 10% of the process of breaking down your food. Okay, so another one of my absolute favorites that I probably stress the importance of to everybody that I see is fiber. Fiber is so absolutely important. And what I actually found out is that plant-based diets that are high in fiber actually increases fat burn. I mean, I actually didn't really know the science behind it actually helping to actually burn fat, but I knew, of course, that it helps with, you know, pushing things through, you know, it aided in digestion, which is huge, because really you're not allowing your body to absorb all of the fat and all of the calories if it's not sitting in your digestive tract for that long. So that's the way I always looked at it, but it's just amazing to also hear that it also is a fat burner, so amazing. So, of course, I already said, improves digestion, which is huge. So your goal for fiber for women is at least 25 grams a day, and for men it's 30 grams a day. And some people may think that, oh wow, that seems like so much. Well, if you really have no idea what your intake is, then I would just recommend at least maybe for 1 to 2 days. If you're not using my MyFitnessPal app or you're not doing something like that, then just track your fiber just for, say, 2 days, just to see what your average is. And some good sources of fiber, of course, your Vi shakes. Every single Vi shake you have, as long as you're using 2 scoops, has 5 grams of fiber in it. If you add in some berries, which of course I always recommend berries, why? Because they're highest in fiber. They're going anywhere between, say, about 4 grams of fiber all the way up to 9 grams of fiber for raspberries. 4 grams of fiber is strawberries. So I mean, really, if you make a shake with some raspberries and some Vi in it, you're looking at 14 grams of fiber right there, just right off the bat, just to start your day, which is amazing. And apples, oranges, pears, those are all very high fiber sources. And you're looking at anywhere between 4 to 5 grams of fiber. And kiwi is also another great source. So if you're looking for you're not exactly sure, again, track it. Always make sure you have whole grain bread. Never eat, white bread. Make sure the fiber content is at least 4 grams of fiber. And beans are also another great source. So I'm telling you, I can go on and on about fiber because I think it's so important. So just make sure women 25 grams, men 30 grams. Make sure to get your fiber every single day. Okay, so also diving in a little bit farther into the diet is adequate protein. Okay, not saying eat only protein. It didn't say that. It said eat adequate protein. And really your protein requirements for the day is surprisingly very low. Everybody thinks, oh, I need to eat my body weight in protein, or I need to eat this. That is not the case at all. Really, as a requirement for women, you're only looking at about 46 grams of protein a day. And for men, it's only up by 10, and that's 56 grams of protein a day. So for the reason why protein, they recommend to make sure you have your adequate consumption of protein. Not only does it help, repair the muscle, especially when you're working out and doing strength training, but it also increases satisfaction during a meal. So if you're eating a meal, let's just say you're, I don't know, I'm just going to think of my daughter's cereal, Rice Krispies, which has no protein, and she's looking at me. So you're eating some Rice Krispies. You're in a bowl of Rice Krispies with, say, some almond milk, which of course does not have any protein. You're eating that. Let me tell you, you're going to feel like you can just eat those Rice Krispies because it doesn't have any protein in it. And she's shaking her head at me like, yes, I know I can eat those Rice Krispies all day long. But if you have now a bowl of iCrunch, on the other hand, take your 3/4 of a cup of iCrunch, take a cup of skim milk, which of course I recommend because it does have 8 grams of protein in it. Let me tell you, you're going to have one bowl of that, and you're going to be like, oh, I feel full. And I've even heard people tell me that a bowl of iCrunch feels as filling as like a steak dinner. And I believe it. I truly believe it too. Why? Because it's high in protein. And of course, if you pair it with a high protein milk, even better, even better. So, and not only that, it also increases the breakdown of food. It increases, because it's harder to break down the protein. So just remember that when your body is actually going through your digestive process, if you have more simple carbs to break down, say just fruits or just grains, it's going to be a whole lot easier for your body to break that down. But when you add, say, a protein with a fruit, it's going to be harder for your body to break it down, therefore creating more work. You want more work on your body. That's a good thing because, again, your metabolism is going up. So definitely keep that in mind. Okay, so one thing that really shocked me today, so of course I wanted to make sure I had all the great ideas to help everybody with their metabolism and speeding up your metabolism. One thing that actually is adding probiotics to your diet. I'm not sure how many of you even know. I hope you guys know something a little bit about probiotics. What probiotics is it's really just adding healthy, friendly bacteria into your body. And it's just in case some of you don't really know what it actually does is, just when you get sick, you have bad bacteria, say, in your body, all your good bacteria will eventually end up getting killed off by this bad bacteria. So really you just want to always replenish your body with these probiotics, which is a friendly bacteria, to help make sure, because it actually sits in your stomach. And they actually say that getting sick, you actually get sick, it starts in your stomach and in your gut. So the more friendly bacteria you have there, the easier it is to fight the bad bacteria or a cold virus. And also, they actually found, crazy study, that they did this on some mice, that the mice that actually took a probiotic every single day didn't do anything different. There were like sets of mice. One took a probiotic every day, these other group didn't. These other ones were actually leaner than the group that didn't take a probiotic. So, of course, they didn't have studies yet on humans, but I completely agree. I take a probiotic every single day. I actually take one that's combined with a cranberry because for any females, cranberry is awesome. It is. It actually can prevent a lot of different bacteria also in your digestive system. So it's awesome. So ways to get probiotics. You can either go and buy some capsules, some supplements. Just go to Walgreens or Walmart or wherever. Or yogurt. You can eat yogurt. However, yogurt will not have the same concentration. Say one thing of yogurt, they say is about, I think, actually, let's go back. 3 things of yogurt. So 3 containers of yogurt is about as equivalent to 1 capsule of, say, a probiotic that you buy. So, of course, I would personally recommend going and taking a probiotic that has multi-strands of bacteria. So you'll see, some will say acidophilus, some will say lactobacillus. There's just so many different names of them, but just check to see how many different strands, and you definitely want to make sure that they have at least about 1 million live, healthy strands, yes, in each capsule. So I know it sounds crazy. A lot of people don't really think that, oh, you're adding this good bacteria into your body that it can potentially help with weight loss, but studies suggest, and let me tell you, it's something that I've taken for many years, and it seems to work great for me. And of course, but the great thing is a lot of these, I shouldn't say a lot, pretty much everything that I went into was something that I have been following. And who knows, you just say, why not just try it? Why not just try, adding a probiotic every single day, when you take your multivitamin. So if you're using the ViPack, or if you're using a multivitamin, which of course I highly recommend if you're not, just adding a probiotic in there. And one other that actually wasn't on my list, but I figured I'm just going to add it anyways because I love it. It is the Vi Slim. The Vi Slim is one of my favorite Vi products. That's like a little supplement that is just in a pill form. It's actually a caffeine-free. It's a caffeine-free energy booster, metabolism booster. It's made with so much amazing natural things, like cocoa extract, and let's see, I can't even remember everything off the top of my head, but let me tell you. Oh, yeah, cocoa extract and green tea extract. There we go. There's the main 2 ingredients right there, but it is caffeine-free. And I take one of those about lunchtime every single day. That's just one thing that really I just feel just works for me because I'm generally not having coffee midday. So I do take my Vi Slim. So just remember, if you aren't, a coffee drinker, there are other ways to get your coffee. So find something that works for you, whether it's taking a Go shot, taking, some neuro, or taking, a Vi Slim supplement that you can get your green tea in there. It's good for you. There's so much research on green tea anyways. Why not take something that's good for you? So again, just to recap, I know I kind of went into details about all of these. I'm just going to really break these down and really just say, number 1, sleep. Just make sure you get your 7.5 to 8 hours of sleep every single night. Again, I know it's tough. At least try to strive for at least one more hour a night. Stress. Try to reduce that stress because that is slowing down your metabolism as well. My solution, of course, is exercise. Add exercise, which, of course, is one of the main ways to increase your metabolism by building lean muscle. Diet, of course, I went into a whole bunch of details about diet. And I'm telling you, there's a million ways. Don't feel like, my metabolism's so sluggish. Oh, I hit 30, everything changes after 30. No, actually research shows that the reason your metabolism slows after 30 is why? It's because you lose muscle mass. It has nothing to do with, oh, I'm getting older, oh, I'm getting this. It's because your body is losing muscle because you're not as active as you once were. So just remember that. Every time you want to sit there and say, oh, I'm just getting older, this, and always think, the negative thoughts, always hit it with a positive thought and a positive spin and say, you know what, maybe if I added some more lean muscle, then guess what? My metabolism can be a whole lot faster. Maybe it can be even faster than when I was 22. Because I know my metabolism is way faster than I was 21, being I'm 35 pounds lighter than when I was in my early 20s. So I'm telling you, if these little solutions work for me, I know they can work for you. And I'm telling you, I didn't follow any of those stuff when I was in my 20s. I didn't. Not at all. So anyways, guys, I'm just so thankful that you guys jumped on. I hope that you learned something from these tips. And of course, let me know if you have any questions, specific questions about these. Definitely hit me up. And I look forward to seeing everybody next Wednesday. Bye, guys.